Normally in politics.
Are you pivoting?
Yeah.
Oh.
Normally in politics, I'm not like there are people out there that think that the liberals and the Joe Biden lovers and the Democrats are just going to just change the world forever, and we're going to turn into socialism and all this other crap. Okay, and I'm kind of like, okay, and they really believe this. Okay,
of course,
for the same reason they thought that Donald Trump was going to take this entire country down the toilet, and you know, maybe he did briefly, but is it back to the way you like it until your party gets back in the office? It's going to be right back, right, when the Republicans take the office. There's not a whole lot that happens at any level of government where I think it's irreparable, where I'm going, okay, this is going to change the way my life is going to look for the rest of my life. Because it's terms. There's every 4 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unless we get one political party in there for like 20 straight years, because you can't get anything done in 4 years. You can't, even if you're in the Senate and the House.
Yeah.
The budget that has been on the forefront of the news over the last week, and I know they passed something yesterday, and there's another thing, scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Because we are throwing out so much money, and I mentioned this. It's kind of like getting when you consolidate all your debt into a credit card.
Yeah.
And what you're basically doing is, say you have $25,000 worth of debt, and you're getting a $30,000 credit card loan, right?
Yep.
And you're going to be making monthly payments on the loan, not the credit card. It's not a $30,000 credit card. You're getting a $30,000 consolidation loan to take care of all your credit card. And so you're like, well, if it's $323 a month for the next 4 years, I can spend another $5,000. Now it's going to be $332 a month. It's just going to be a little bit more. So let's go on a shopping spree.
It's how you buy a car. It's buying a car and a house.
Right.
Over the course of 70 years.
Yeah. So wait a minute. I can add another $70,000 worth of stuff here. And it's going to only cost me $3 more a month. Awesome. That's how we think.
Get the car, man. Get it.
So that's what this feels like to me.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that we are negotiating and sacrificing. They have set the table so high at $3.5 trillion that 1.5 looks like nothing. I'm like, it's 1.5 trillion effing dollars. It's unbelievable.
I'm not going past 1.5 trillion.
Yeah.
That is
and I'm
my
like,
$1.5
trillion. And so I'm thinking, where the hell is the money coming from?
You know what it is? It is the kick the can down. We've been doing that our whole thing.
But this is like kicking it over the cliff, right?
Yeah, we just keep moving it down.
I mean, billions.
I know.
It really scares me.
Why?
It really, because I don't want my children to be burdened with this.
They already
Our
are.
parents didn't want us to be burdened with
were.
it. And again, I know that when you go to the church social and you win a $10,000 prize, it is all good for about 3 or 4 months, man. You're spending money, and then you realize you're right back at the same spot. You're broke as shit, and you ain't got no money, and you're trying to pay your bills, and you're out. And so, with all this influx of money, it's just. I want to know where the money's coming from, and I know it's our deficit. But my point is this: we're taught in this country to budget yourself. And I would say that probably, I don't know what the numbers are, but I would bet that 75% of Americans don't have a budget because they're scared shitless what it looks like.
Yeah.
I've done a budget one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't seem to save any money, and every month we're a little short. What's the deal? And so when I started writing it down, most people don't want to, we'll figure it out. What? We can't afford a child? Right. We'll figure it out.
We'll cut it
they
back.
did it.
We'll cut back a little bit.
They can afford a child. They had 3 children, and they're okay. They made it.
Well, and it's always
we'll make it.
We'll cut back a little bit.
I'll make more money in my job. I'm going to make more money down. 5 years from now, I'll be making more money, and we'll figure it out.
I agree with
People,
you,
there ain't nobody budgets for a child. There is not one person on the face of the earth watching the show right now going, we can't afford to have a child. When you want a child, you're having a child. Right. When you get married, we're having a child.
Well,
Are you employed? I'm employed. I don't care. We're having a child because that's what we do. We're having a baby right after. But there ain't nobody going, you're making $35,000. I'm making $37,000. And here's what it costs to have a baby. We should wait. Nobody does that.
Well, no.
Nobody.
And the people who don't have children are like, damn, we're rich.
Yeah. That's why you get tax write-offs for your children. That little $750 Joe Biden check you get every month is supposed to do something that buys books. Anyway, so this woman is being scrutinized and hammered because she's put her 7-year-old.
Oh, I thought the woman you were dating. Okay, I'm sorry. We've
moved way on.
We've moved on. Okay.
This woman
Yeah.
is charging her 7-year-old rent.
Okay.
And power. And internet.
Okay.
And food.
Okay.
So people are like, whoa, what are you doing, man? So she explains, and I love this. She has a list of chores to do every day.
Mm-hmm. We do this.
Trash, pick up your room, standard stuff, not like build an addition or paint the bedroom, okay?
Pull stumps.
He gets $1 a day.
Yeah.
He gets $30 a month. 7-year-old, $30 a month.
This is a little. 7's a little young for this, but I love it.
And then she charges him for rent. $3 rent a month, $2 for power, $1 for internet.
I think it's great.
Then she takes the money that he gives her and he puts it into a savings account for the child. She's not taking the money back.
I think it's great.
I think it's fantastic. So my question to you is, we have this government who is so in debt.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yet they're calling us going, hey, your tax bill's late. What the hell? And I'm going, dude, look what you're doing. If my dad wants me to be budgeted and run my business correctly, then it's real easy to look at your dad and go, how do you run your business? Were you ever budgeted? I mean, you're going to learn from your mentors. And so if we're supposed to live in this wonderful country where money's no object and we see how they're spending and they almost close. The only reason they approved this damn thing was because they wanted to get paid.
That's right.
Holy crap!
It's for the American people.
Whatever.
The American
Holy crap!
people.
And I'm waiting for a senator or a House member or Pelosi to go, well, I'm not working for free. Well, really? I'm not working for free. We need if for anything else, they'll figure it out so they can get paid.
I almost wish they would say that. I almost wish just because you know what it's saying. No, do you remember? I was just going to throw this out there. Not a political show, my political leanings, but do you remember when in the Clinton era when they balanced the budget?
Yeah.
No, but I'm just, and people, oh no, but we were at a time, and I'm not saying
they've thrown that out.
I know.
The balanced budget doesn't even exist.
Did you remember? It was like, it wasn't a grand celebration, but it was like a kind of a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
I know. We've balanced the budget. We've paid off our credit cards. And now look where we are. They're raising. This would be.
No, I wish I was in this position right now. They're raising their debt ceiling, and they're the ones responsible for saying it's okay. So if you go and you have a $10,000 loan at Bryant Bank or at Wells Fargo,
exactly what it is,
and you're at it, and you can't pay the loan off,
they take something.
The balloon payment comes up, they take something. They take your car. Well, that's like going into the bank and go, I'm going to raise it to $15,000. They go, okay,
you know what this is?
I'm going to raise it to $20,000. Yeah. I think I'm going to raise it to $30,000. Okay, that's fine. And you never have to pay it off ever.
Well, till you're dead. We had this conversation with my son. Right? This is a home equity line.
Eventually, it's got to break, right?
No, this is a home equity line of credit. Right? So this is a home equity line. It keeps going up and up. Again, obviously, to get it, you got to have good credit, et cetera, et cetera. But you keep raising it.
We don't have that either.
No, but listen, so you keep raising until you're dead. Then when you're dead, your kids are like, oh, I get my inheritance. Look at all the money. Oh, well, hang on. Because your mom and dad owed X thousands of dollars.
This is a Ponzi scheme.
Well, yes.
This is a Ponzi scheme that continually pays itself because it's never going to end, and we're never
until society ends.
The debt's never going to be zero.
No,
until the world ends.
Well, now listen,
it will never end.
It could. We did it once. It could. I'm just saying it could. It could.
Well, we did it knowing. You know what we did? We balanced the budget, and then we went out and got a $50,000 credit card.
That's true.
Congratulations, we did it.
So let's spend the crap.
Now let's go get a $1 trillion credit card, and let's go spend some money. And listen, there's no doubt that we need a lot of infrastructure, and I know we have bridge issues. And
the thing that, to me, the farce about this, and I heard someone talk about it the other day, the radical middle, which I love. The radical moderate, not just the people in the middle. The thing that cracks me up about this is the two parties will yell at each other about spending, right? And the one will say, you're spending too much. You're spending much. The other will say, you don't care about infrastructure. But the reality is, have we ever seen, again, post what the one time with the budget, both sides, you Republican or Democrat, you're spending like crazy. Now, you make the argument. One of the arguments is we're doing this to create to support, to uplift the middle class, and so the other is we're doing it to stimulate the economy. But come on, we're on both sides. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you vote. We're going to spend money, and I've talked to my kids about this. I'm like, what do you think? You're 20.
What do you think the Washington D.C. government credit score is? They dictate it. They're an A plus, and I know several years ago it went to like an A plus,
yeah,
and it was the first time in history that it went down from an A plus to an A plus, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm a self-employed guy, so credit scores mean a lot more to me now than they did 3 years.
Assets. As a government.
Exactly.
Like we're going to
but I pay my bills. I may be late, but I pay my bills, and I've talked to several people who work for credit bureaus. And they're like, yeah, we really don't care. And I'm like, if you really want to help out people like in the middle class, you will give them a break and say, okay, you're 30 days on this, but it shows you pay your bills and you've done it over a period of time. You may be late every month, but at least you're paying it.
That's right.
You don't settle. You never settle, and you never gone bankrupt. As long as you don't settle or go bankrupt, I know you're good for your bill. And as long as it doesn't go like 6-7 months, right?
Right.
Because they can shut your crap off.
Well, you should be paying.
Those are the people I trust. Those are the people that I'm like in a lot of ways, that I'd go, hey, listen, this guy is busting his ass. He wants to pay his bills. He doesn't like getting those 800 phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning. He wants to do it. But if you put that same credit limit on what our government's running right now, what do you think that credit limit would be?
Here's the difference. This is really interesting. This is going to be a deep Kurre and Klapow. So on the one hand, I get what you're saying. But on the other hand, the argument would be that this debt that we're driving up, it's kind of weird. This is weird. It's for us. In other words, it instead of buying a car, right? It gets a little weird because when the way you're talking about it, I'm driving debt up to get myself something, not to buy you something. And the argument is we're driving this up for, quote, the American people. So it's kind of like in some way, and if you want to get even more philosophical, we voted these people in. They're representing us. Mm-hmm. So we said, go for it, because I don't want any more potholes. And I want gas prices to come down, and I want to have. It's real easy for us to say them, Washington, and it's easy for Washington to say the American people, because we're kind of all in it, even if you personally don't agree, right? Because they're not spending so I can have a car. There's not a line item. That's all the pork stuff. There's not a line item. Now there's the line items. There's all the pork stuff that's in it. Who's Representative Shelby, known for getting the state of Alabama amazing. We got all kinds of great stuff. But can you imagine if there was a line item in there for you? Hey, Tony, there's going to be the Tony line item where he's going to get a new minivan.
It'd be funny too, because if you break down this thing, I think it comes out to like $65,000 per every person on the face of the earth.
On the face of the earth, not in the country.
Yeah, I think it's like the face of the earth. I think it's crazy. I mean, it's like 65.
And people in Sweden are going like, what?
If you put it up to a vote, just in the United States, and said we can either redo our bridges and build this infrastructure, get broadband, fix all these things, make our schools safer, do all these things that they're wanting to do, because this is or I can write you a check for $65,000. What do you think we'd vote?
Well, and this is us. Listen, this is to me, this is the immaturity of us as a society, because it's exactly that. Don't raise my taxes. Give me my tax break. Why is that pothole there?
Yeah.
We do. This is why our tax system is different. We do want it all. We don't want taxes to be raised, right? And yet we want that stuff. I don't have a problem with it, because that's kind of our culture, right? You go to other, again, I got a kid in another country, and it's really interesting. He's sort of experienced like, my God, everything's paid for. Now their taxes are a lot higher.
I wonder what other countries are like looking at our budget or what we're trying to push through.
Because they have a whole different, right? Their system is like, and I'm sure that they would look at it in many ways and go, this is bizarre. And we've talked about this is bizarre. What do you mean that there's, that everybody doesn't get health care for free? What do you mean? I've seen this. Universities, college education. Other countries, it's either super cheap or free.
Yeah.
But the taxes are higher.
Yeah.
But so we're in this like weird place where taxes are
Well,
going
we're
up.
trying to give everyone the opportunity to do it right themselves.
Yes, that's right.
We're trying to give everyone. We don't pay for all your things. We're gonna give you your allowance, and now you have to make it last for the month.
But if you don't, we'll just raise.
If you do, we'll just raise it. That's the first time, though. Maybe it's because I'm getting older or whatever, but it's the first time where I'm actually a little flipped out about what's going on. Democrat, Republican, I don't care.
Right.
Because even the Democrats are bickering back and forth.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, where the hell is all this money coming from? Because even people, I work with a lot of partners and industry people that are doing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
And they got no customers coming through their doors. And I'm like, and they're like, there is an influx of so much money that's floating around right now. You just have to know where to look for it. And it's kind of like, really? and it's like it's Christmas time for a lot of people. And eventually we're gonna have to pay the piper.